Hi, my name is Babatunde Odubanwo. I'm a corporate communications personnel, and of course, I'm also a poet. I actually started my journey into the creative space, writing poetry many years back, and ever since then, never turned back. Of course, I ventured also into another aspect of the creative endeavors, and here we're here standing. So I'm here on this show to talk about some of the poems that have actually inspired me over the years. Some, maybe one out of them, written by me. Of course, I've also actually been inspired by some very brilliant poets. Some I've lived before I was born, and some I've just enjoyed the work. And of course, today I'm going to be sharing some of them with you on this show. I actually have varied areas of actually showing my expression of love for poetry, and of course we are talking about the season of love, Valentine's season. I'm going to be focusing on love, at this time, and of course I would love you guys to come and enjoy poetry with me as I share this. And so the first poem, that I'll be sharing with you today is titled "Touched by an Angel" by Maya Angelou. Touched by an Angel by Maya Angelou. We, accustomed by courage, exiles from delights, live coiled in shells of loneliness, until love leaves its high holy temple and comes into our sight to liberate us into life. Love arrives, and in its train comes ecstasies, old memories of pleasure, ancient histories of pain. Yet, if we are bold, love strikes away the chains of fear from our souls. We are weaned from our timidity. The flesh of love's light, we dare brave, and suddenly we see that love cost all we have and we ever be, yet it is only love which sets us free. Um, I would just briefly talk about the reason why this particular poem by the legendary Maya Angelou has actually inspired me over the years. It's not the regular love poem, right? It's one that speaks on the strength of love beyond the eros, the erotic feelings that or the hysteria associated with love as we deem it fit or see it in our days, right? It talks about how love itself, look at the very last line. I would refrain. I'll take it back. He said, yet it is only love which sets us free. Love is liberation. Love is more than feelings. Love itself is life. And of course, Maya Angelou, in a bold way of expressing our poetry, actually affirms that in this particular piece. The second would be for me, Langston Hughes. Come on, guys, who doesn't know Langston Hughes? That famous American black poet, who changed the entire poetry game in America. In the 20s, right? And Langston Hughes, has been always just like Maya Angelou. Live before Maya Angelou, has always been one who is very, very true to his conviction, And of course, in this particular poem that I'm going to be reading, right, he also comes true, in his particular way of expressing his heart. He titled this particular poem "Lament Over Love." "Lament Over Love" was written in 1927, and for me, it remains an all-time favorite, especially when talk on the issue of love, as it were. So, come with me. Just share and get some insight, and of course, read from the poem of this great guy, Langston Hughes. "Lament Over Love." I hope my child never love a man. I say, I hope my child never love a man. Because love can hurt you more than anything else can. I'm going down to the river and I ain't going there to swim. Going to the river. I ain't going there to swim. My true love left me and I'm going there to think about him. Love is like a whiskey. Love is like red wine. Love is like whiskey. Oh, like sweet red wine. If you want to be happy, you got to love all the time. I'm going up in a tower, tall as a tree is tall. Say up in a tower, tall as a tree is tall. Gonna think about my man, let my full self fear. Yeah, just like the poem before this, the one by Maya Angelou, taught by an angel, Lament Over Love. It's a, just like I had said prior to this time about Langston Hughes, is one who is true to conviction, not one who goes with the bandwagon, you know, um, people, saying things about love is this, the beauty side of love, right? In this particular one, unlike Maya Angelou, he is actually talking about the pain associated with love, or pain associated with loving and loving so deep. And of course, you see in this particular beginning of the poem, it was actually querying um, the character. I mean, in this particular poem, to advise not to love, and then of course he further went on to tell us that he's actually going down to the river, not to swim, but to actually think about a man, right? The character, I mean, was just been served what we call breakfast in Nigeria. Going down to the river to think about, and of course, a lot of people, moving about with a bottle of emotions, from loving and all that. So that's as far back as the one is actually, went dug deep into the angst, the agonies, sometimes associated with loving. But of course, he still went on to say, describing love, as a red wine, I mean, as one who drinks wine, you have a taste of what red wine is in the mouth. And of course, tells you about describing love like whiskey, you know, and then he still further went to talk about if you want to be happy, you've got to love all the time. So meaning that, as much as there is that pain associated with love, there is still this consciousness, of being happy, or to people who are actually loving or have love in the spirit. I'll go to the next poem, titled "To My Dear and Loving Husband" by Bradstreet. A very short one, right? Yet it's one of the poems that when I want to actually visit the theme of love, right? These are some of the few poems I actually visit to write and of course to immerse my creative self in, and this poem, just 4-line poem, right? Still talks a bit about the theme of love. In this case, trying to pay some tributes to a heartthrob, our husband. To my dear and loving husband. Thy love is such I can no way repay. The heavens reward thee manifold, I pray. Then while we live in love, let's so persevere that when we live no more, we may live heaven. All right. Unlike Langston Hughes and the legendary Maya Angelou. Of course, both of them are legendary stars. And Bradstreet paying tribute, glowing tribute to her husband in this four-line poem, powerful, short but powerful poem. You know, it takes us a bit far away from what we've seen. These two poets, describe love to be. In our own case, she's actually, making some prayers on behalf of her husband, telling him, how much, how much he appreciates him, the love, he has really given and all that. And of course, even saying that in the world after, they will keep loving, that tells about the enduring power of love. I mean, something that I think we need more to talk about in the world that we live in, the world that is actually, battling against itself, fighting in and out of itself, nations in these nations, and even on the personal ground, these things actually, you know, uh, it happens, marriages and all that, but Bradstreet, in our poem to my dear and loving husband, is taking a different detour, telling us what love is, what loving, our husband, or what the love that our husband have given to her, has done to her, in prayers, from a deeply convicted, loving wife to our loving husband. And yeah, before I go, I also want to remind us that I'm also a poet, and I've written quite a number of poems. Some of them have been published on different platforms, and as the icing on the cake, I'm going to be giving this particular one, this from me, and I'd love you guys to also enjoy this. It's titled Let Love In by Babatunde Odubanwo. There is a silence behind the walls, and push at the fall of curtains. Reminiscence of singing birds at dawn, and endless heartbeats that keeps us alive. Let love in, let love in. Voices even echo in distant places. Oh, let love in. I'm your friend, a brother, and soulmate. Let me be the bright colors to your easy days and sweet rhythms to your darkest days. Let love in. A cemetery of passion met at the gate so beautiful, my dear. You are the muse to my poetry. Let love in. The bouncing backside gives nods to docile manhood. Come into my arms. Let me whisper into your ears. So let love in. Let love in. I shall find the keys to your lethargic window and keys your broken heart back to the embrace of kindness, while tears flow in farewell to yesteryear. I shall be here. So let love in. Where does broken heart go? Here it stays. My love is rose, stays a lifetime. Let love in. Let love in. My love is great. It blossoms as green all year round. Olulufe, my love is real. When emotions run wild and cultures beckon, I will be here to set the tune to your loudest morning. So sounds so loud, it eats the roof. Starlight of our moment makes even angels jealous. From the foreplay tension every minute, right us to cloud nine. The trust, slow and steady, fast and crushing, quakes your G-spots. So let love in, let love in. Call for more, and how we obey. Um, so I try to balance in my poem Let Love In. I try to actually balance the concept of love being more than just feeling, taking it to them, taking it much higher, to the body pleasure, associated with actually loving. When I mean love, not love in terms of how it's been seen, but loving, in truth and in deed, And actually trying to explore how two people who are actually in love can actually, be lost in themselves, on the cool dark nights, when the lights are down, you know. Yeah, I actually talked about that concept, and of course, still talked about, letting yourself. That's what love basically is about, letting yourself go. And of course, bringing others, person who you portray, who you claim to love, into your space. So basically, these are my four. For time, I will limit myself to this. These are my four poems, and I hope you actually enjoy it. Again, my name is Babatunde Odubanwo. I'm a corporate communications personnel, and of course, I'm also a poet. Thank you for being part of this, and God bless.